Audio 1. The Eternity of Sound and the Science of Mantra. Chapter 1. Important Role of Sound in the Universe. The Vedic scriptures on the origin of the universe mention that the absolute existence of the Brahman is expressed and realized in the sublime vibrations of Sabda and Nada. The Anhat Swar, the evolutionary impulse of cosmic sound induced by these vibrations, is said to be the generator of perpetual energy in the universe. Shabda, the omnipresent, eternal origin of sound, and Nada, the eternal element of the self-existent cosmic impulse of music, and in the subliminal as well as the perceivable realms of existence and their ever-evolving expressions in infinity are referred in the Sastric literature as Shabda Brahman and the Nad Brahma. The Veda, the Vedic knowledge of absolute sound, describes the sublime power of the omnipresent sound as an eternal, limitless, whole, and the sole creator of the universe. Sound is regarded here as the basic source of energy and motion existing in the universe. The existence of the material world is said to have originated from the cosmic impulses, the infinite bang of Shabda. The Big Bang theory of the modern science agrees with this conclusion of the rishis, scientists of the yore. The non-existence or absolute end of the world at the ultimate time, the other end of the universal cycle, is also described to be a consequence of similar supersonic explosion. On the subliminal front, the existence of enormous activities of mind is said to have been realized through the eternal medium of sound. In our day-to-day life, we generally come across with two types of sound. Vyakta, that means audible, and avyakta, non-audible. These are defined as jal and antarjal in the Jain scriptures. The spoken words fall under the first category, and those expressed silently or through the language of mind are examples of the later. Theories of modern physics have characterized these categories in terms of frequencies of the involved hard sound. The manifestation of the Vyakta and Avyakta are relative in the physical world. The ultra and supersonic forms are avyakta to our ears, which can normally sense a sound only in the frequency range of 20 to 20,000 vibrations per second. Similarly, the loud noise of a busy road would be non-audible to a person who's sitting in a closed house away from the road. These examples clearly illustrate that the avyakta sound also exists in the same reality as the vyakta one. Our cosmos consists of the sound waves in all frequency ranges, beyond the grasp of our audio sensors and even beyond the limits of our imagination. Each impulse of the infinite activities of nature indwells in the cosmos in the form of subliminal vibrations before its physical manifestation in space and time. Many animals in this world are well equipped to perceive such subtle sounds in some range. Several varieties of birds and animals are therefore able to sense the future events, especially many of the natural calamities of tremor, etc., that are impossible to be recognized by humans. Often this superhuman potential of animals and birds beats the sophisticated sensors of advanced instruments. The sonic vibrations of each spoken or mentally thought syllable exist in the universe forever. Some frontline researchers of the modern science of sound hope that future advancement of science and technology would one day enable recording the voices of the sages of yore in the omnipresent ocean of ether. The Vedika science of mantras, the mantra Vignan, developed by the rishis, had endowed them with an exceptional faculty of communication across the universe. This power was indeed supernormal as compared to the capabilities of the modern inventions like radio, television, and radar, etc. Mantra Vignan is the science of the transcendent as well as the cosmic powers of sound. The specific configuration of the syllables compiled in the mantras makes them important in terms of associated sonic effect. The enunciation of the Vedic mantra in a specific composition of accent, pitch, intensity, amplitude, and rhythm results in the expansion at a pace faster than the laser beams in the endless domain of physical energy waves and consciousness. Because of the unique property of sound to traverse via the electromagnetic waves anywhere in the space, the collective chanting of Vedic mantras can induce cosmic impact. Significant scientific research on the demonstration and the measurement of sonic energy has been carried out in the modern age of advanced technology. This includes pioneering research in the area of ultrasonic in the USA and Germany. The applications of ultrasound and infrasonic technology range from strategic weapons to biomedical instruments, from brainwashing to sound therapy, and from telecommunications to remote control on the spacecraft. Being realized that the energy generated by the decomposition through japas of the mantra of the cosmic sound would be of exponential magnitude as compared to that of the atomic energy. Some pioneering scientists have also begun an in-depth study of the mantra Vigyan. However, the researchers of this field must note that it is the sublime effects of the mantra's consciousness which is more important than the gross sonic effects. Studies in the direction should therefore pay greater attention on the possibilities of spiritual enlightenment of all conscious beings with the help of mantra Vigyan. The treasure of knowledge in the Vedas is encoded in the form of mantras and hymns. Every mantra and chand has its significant importance. The Gayatri mantra is honored as preeminent in the science of spirituality and the mantra Vigyan. This Adi, absolute origin mantra is a compilation of 9 special words in ancient Sanskrit formed by 24 syllables. The japa of this mantra creates rhythmic pressure on the nerves and also titillates the extrasensory energy center and subtle nerve bundles that generate soothing effects in the sadhak's body and mind and also affects his deep inner self. This absolute mantra is said to have been realized through the cosmic vibrations of the eternal sublime force of the omnipresent supreme consciousness, Brahman. This Mahamantra is referred as the divine mother of all the Vedas and hence of all branches of knowledge. It is also recognized as the smallest of all religious scriptures and volumes of ultimate knowledge. Because of its unique potential of inspiring the individual consciousness to link with the supreme consciousness, the Gayatri Mahamantra is indeed the most powerful and astonishing creation of Shabda. The symbolic depiction in the Sastric literature about the 7 horses of Lord Sun, energy from the vibrations in Mahadaksha, the cosmic dimensions, implies the generation of 7 natural tones of music by the explosion, the Anhat Nada. This cosmic expression of Shabda Brahma, Nada Brahma, is described as the origin of the evolutionary impulse that resulted in the gross and sublime existence of the ever-evolving nature and the ever-expanding universe. This evolutionary afflatus is also described in the rhetoric presentation of the scripture as the cosmic force generated by the coupling of the Prakriti and Purusha. The sublime vibrations of the eternal sound of the self-existent absolute syllable Om indwells everywhere in the cosmic expansion. Self-generation of its rhythmic impulse of Omkar, the Big Bang, had generated the infinite spectrum of the sublime and the gross reflection of Shabda and consequently effectuated the existence and manifestation of the electromagnetic waves and the basic physical energies of sound, heat, and light. The spiritual Sadhanas of the Nada Yoga lead to the realization of the Omkar and hence to the unfolding of the secrets of nature and deciphering of the hidden movements of time. During the initial stages of Nada Yoga, one has to meditate upon the internal sounds perceived through closed ears while sitting in an externally silent surrounding. Long-term dedicated practices of this method results in the experience of a variety of otherwise non-existent sounds ranging, for instance, from that of a whistle or flute to a buzzer or a big gong, tinkling of a beetle, pealing of bells to the noise of the thunderbolt. An unperturbed subliminal humming sound of Omkar is experienced in the depths of the inner self in the completion phase of the Yoga Sadhana. The attainment of this ultimate state of deep trance in Nada Yoga corresponds to absolute harmony and engrossment of the mind and the soul with the cosmic echo of Om. Realization and awakening of the sublime power of Sabda Brahma, Nada Brahma, immanent in the human body, mind, and the inner core of the soul, are amid in some higher levels of spiritual sadhanas. All the branches of mantra Vijnan and related fields of yoga deal with the study and practice of rhythmic enunciation of mantras and deep meditation upon the transcendental power of Sabda and Nad hidden in the former. These areas of research in the science of spirituality and yoga deal with the knowledge of Shabda Brahma, Nada Brahma. The inclusion of the perennial syllable Om and its phenomenon Omkara is compatible as well as essential with respect to the compilation of the mantra. Therefore, the science and philosophy of Omkar also fall within the vast domain of knowledge pertaining to Shabda Brahma, Nada Brahma. The Indian scriptures on yoga and spirituality mentions a great deal on Shabda Brahma as the basis of all branches of mantra Vijnan and the science of the eternal syllable Om, and Nada Brahma as the source of knowledge and realization on the 7 eternal notes and the science of Omkar and music. The elementary practices of Shabda Yoga deal with training, control, and refinement of voice and speech. Consistent attempt for observance of purity, truth, precision, and softness of spoken words in day-to-day conduct are prerequisite before one could initiate Shabda Yoga. Gaining knowledge through sacred means like good literature, interaction, and learning from enlightened personalities who possesses truth and piety of character, and transmitting it to the deserving persons via equally noble mode, so necessary as a preliminary exercise of Shabda Yoga. A disciple, sadhak of the spiritual sadhana should realize the spoken and written words as live carriers of thoughts, sentiments, and inspirations. The Nada Yoga principle focuses upon the sadhanas of realizing the spiritual dignity and divine bliss of music through sincere training of the Shastriya Sangita, that means Indian classical music. Higher level endeavors of Shabda Yoga and Nada Yoga results in the attainment of extrasensory potentials of communications in the higher horizons of supermental intellect and superconsciousness. An accomplished yogi of the Shabda Yoga can transmit his thoughts and inspirations to educe and control the minds of others as well. Similar state of success in Nada Yoga enables one to receive cosmic signals, divine voice, and the messages of great souls and yogis from higher realms of spirituality.